Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to have you here. Glad to be here, even coming off of a somber weekend. Most of us tried to get to Ohio this weekend. As you know, the founder of VectorVest, Dr. Bartolito, passed away. So we attended the funeral. It was a great funeral. There was a lot of people there. Just goes to show how much he was loved by a lot of us and friends and family as well. So it was a good weekend. It was a quick turnaround. Drive up to Ohio and drive back. We drove up on Friday and drove back on Saturday. It was a long trip. So if you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the positive, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. All right. So the crux of tonight's video is all about the power of the VectorVest software to always stay on the right side of the market, no matter what anybody is telling you. All right. No matter what anybody is telling you. Dr. Delito put together a software that has helped many people change their financial situations. All right. So thank you, A Fox. The Giants sucked. The Giants played horrible last night. Everybody knows I'm a New Yorker. I'm a Giants fan. So that was horrible play. Goodness gracious. Oorah to you, T. Mosley. All right, so let me see. The alert still hasn't hit. I'm still looking at how many people are here before we get started. And A Fox, I should put you in timeout, but I really can't because you're not speaking anything that's not true. So I'm just thinking about putting you in timeout, though. Just thinking about it. All right, we got 62 people. Let's wait for the alert to hit. And before we get started, this is going to be an economically busy week. A lot of stuff is coming out this week. The Fed's decision is hitting in less than 2 weeks, and we're going to see. I think.
Make sure you set up an alert because I don't see one.
Oh, with everything that went on, that's what happened. Fireblazer, yeah, you can go to timeout too. Nabbit, Joey. I did everything but that. Can you set it up, or I can do it I can do it on my end real quick. Which would you prefer?
Right, go ahead.
All right. So let me make that happen. Hold on, bear with me for a second, folks, as I set this alert up because somebody didn't do it. Oh, that somebody is me. So let me go set this alert up real quick. That's why a lot of people not here yet. I don't know how many of you don't know that we do this every Monday, but we still got to do it. Now, go over to here. Again, I apologize, folks. It's just been a busy morning this morning, trying to get everything done. But I should have done it. Joey's like, yeah, I didn't see an alert. Well, that's because, Joey, I didn't make one. Dang it. I had to get that cigarette in. That's true. All right, there it is. We only got one thing live today? Interesting. Oh, no. It's live. All right. Got to retry. Some of this stuff is not working. There we go. Come on. Oh, there. Trending Thursday mobile app. And there's my copied. And
it takes you a really long time.
Shut up. Week 5 now. And set up for today, and I'm gonna set it up for like right now. Oops.
And I don't know it's gonna take you this long.
Wow. All right, it's done now. The alert's sent. The letter's set, and I set it out to go right now. So there we go. All right. I need you to not take the mouse for a second. Hold on. Let me get this back down. There we go. Ugly mug. If I was the only by myself in the room, I don't count. Nope, Lou. Yeah, I guess you do, Lou. You count. Ugly mugs need loving too. Wow. And Mark says he signed on by accident. That's not the case. That's not the case. I know Mark is always going to be here. The alert will hit, and then we'll get started. All right. As I was saying, it's going to be a busy economic week, and anything can happen. Anything can happen between now and the end of the week. And a lot of people still think that the Fed is not going to raise. I still think he does raise, but a lot of what you see out on the internet says that there it is. The alert just hit. A lot of people out there on the internet say that he's not going to raise. Take a look at CGC. It's exploding. Yes. So just to let you know, I remember I did a video. I didn't do a video, but I talked to you that the marijuana industry was about to boom. I'm in MJ. I am in that ticker symbol. And as of right now, I'll tell you, as of right now, I was up like 20%. Anybody trading marijuana stocks right now? Anybody trading marijuana? I'm up 22%. I just refreshed. I'm up 22% in MJ. I'm up 22% in MJ. And I am in MJNA, which is up 35% today. I am in MJNA. Akshaya, you here? Akshaya says that MJNA was better than, I was better than that. I'm just trying to tell you, the marijuana, once they came through and they said that they were pretty much decriminalizing to a major extent marijuana, I felt that it was going to rise. How about I'm up 29% today in CGC? I'm playing the whole industry. I'm playing the whole industry with MJ, but CGC is rocking and rolling. What's up, Mark? CGC, and we're gonna put that on the list to keep our eyes on today. CGC is moving, but marijuana stocks is definitely up. Daniel says he's up 77%. What's LFFY? I don't even know what that is. Is that weed? No, LFLY, FLLY, FLL, Sugarfoot. Something like that. ACB is also big, and I think that's why I played MJ. I played the whole industry. That way I didn't have to hone in on a specific stock. I played the industry, but I did pick up one individual stock that was super speculative in MJNA. I made a lot of money on that, and I'm trying to see if lightning will strike twice on that. Thank you, Daniel. It's Leafly Holdings. Leafly Holdings. All right, so A Fox says I'm still in THCX. Is that another weed stock? I was loving the weekly picks video Monday for 3 countries. I'm in Canada and super appreciate the insight. So Fitness Solutions, tonight the video comes out at 6 p.m. My top weekly picks for U.S., Canada, and Australia. All right, so we'll see. And PB says the PM in Canada is too doped. I'm not getting it. I don't know. All right, so looks like for the most part the alert hit. Not as many people as we would normally have, but that's okay. Everybody who's supposed to be here is here. A Fox says it's a weed ETF. So weed is rocking and rolling. It is rocking and rolling. Hopefully I turned you guys on to it early enough that it seems like some of you are making money. If you're not making money, I'm going to put that in my list today of stocks, even though I don't have any specific news on it. Recently, I am going to take a look at it, hopefully give some of you some opportunity to get in if you're not already in it. And CGC is another one, plus 40%. It is what it is. All right, let's get into the software and let's go take a look at what's going on with the market timing graph. Here we are. I saw today that the market was up, nice green candle. And you'll see in tonight's video why I moved in the direction that I did. All right. So you have to make sure to watch tonight's video at 6 p.m. to understand what I'm just saying right now. I saw that we had a nice green candle today, but as the market is moving on, big wicket today's candle, a lot of give back. Still in the green. The VectorVest composite is higher than its open, but a lot of give back in the movement today. So make sure you watch tonight's video as I tell you for each one of those 3 countries where you should be. But always understand that with the economic news that's coming out this week, anything can happen. Anything can happen. But I also give you some insight as to what to look for before you do anything. The power of the VectorVest software is the overarching goal tonight in understanding what to do by utilizing the power of the VectorVest software, where you always need to look, be on the right side of the market. All right, so as I look, the 3 is still below the 8. Nice little level of support on the composite sitting at $58.06. An up candle today, but as I mentioned, a lot of give back. All right, a lot of give back. So let's talk about the news that's moving the market. And of course, the big news is pretty much what's getting ready to happen for the week. All right, that's the big news. Somebody just subscribed. Thank you. Who was it? Who just subscribed? I missed the name, but thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. This is the kind of content we want to bring to our subscribers every day, every time we do a video, every time we do a live stream. It's all about taking the emotion out of the game, talk about what's going on in the news. Copper is something we're going to look at today. Copper is something we're going to look at. I'm still keeping my eyes on commodities, on all kinds of commodities. So copper is going to be on my list today, Colin, as well. As we look at starting from tomorrow, OPEC monthly report. Again, I think Ryan and I are both bullish on oil, and Russia and OPEC are still cutting back on the supply, which is going to still raise the price of oil. The other side of the equation in that is oil rises, inflation rises, because the rise in oil prices affects things all around it. So it is going to be an inflationary indicator as well. And even if everybody thinks that the Fed is going to pause, if inflation starts rising, what do you think the Fed's going to do? The Fed's going to continue to raise interest rates. I still think that he raises on the next one. But, I'm just a guy. I'm not the Fed. So I'm just using the information that I know to pass on to you to help you to understand why I'm feeling that way. But the Fed could turn around on the next decision and say, forget you, Glenn. Then I have to call him up on the phone. I'm not doing that today. But then I have to call him up on the phone and be like, yo, what you doing, JJ? What's up? So he don't want none of this smoke. So hopefully he does the right thing, because I will bring the smoke. All right, so that's on Tuesday. Federal budget balance also on Tuesday. Then we get the most important stuff that's going to happen this week: core CPI and core PPI, producer pricing index and consumer pricing index. And based on how these come in, as you can see, it's forecasted, that's the forecast, it's forecasted to come in lower than the previous, and we'll see. But year over year, it's projected to come in higher. We'll see. All right, and I think that if it does come in higher, and overall, I think the Fed is well aligned to raise interest rates once again. Hi, Bobby in Utah. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Got 133 people in here. You know me. I like to see if we can get 300 people in the room. Don't forget, Joey's going to put the link in the chat for you. Share the live link. Let's get more people in the room. In these times, especially with what's coming out this week, people need to know where they need to be instead of trying to put their emotions into the equation and hurt themselves. By utilizing a solid system, a solid program, you will always be on the right side of the market. Cole Pimentel Nogura, good afternoon to you as well. All right, and that's on Thursday. That's on Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday, we have Baker Hughes, oil rig count. Hurricane season is still in effect. I'm still going to see how that's affecting the rigs in the out in the oceans. Where was I saying? The Gulf. All right, let's go see how that comes in. Jeremy from Reno, Nevada. Welcome, my friend. All right, so a lot of stuff going on this week, which could affect how the market finishes out for the rest of the week. Now, let's talk about Morgan Stanley. All right, they say that this week's CPI report will show little change in core inflation. Now, again, this is news. Now, as it goes down, our view remains that the Fed is done here. At a peak federal funds rate of 5.375, the financial institution added. So for the financial institution, I still think that, again, it's news. But if inflation is not where the Fed wants it to be, he already said, especially due to the job market, he feels that the economy can sustain another rate increase. He thinks so. So he's already put that out there. People already understand that. But I still think that the big stories keep coming in that the Fed is going to pause. I think oppositely. I don't want to hurt myself, says John. What are you talking about, John? What did you do? Jake says, hi, Glenn from Patriot Nation. Patriots lost. All right, Patriots lost. That's all that matters. Tom Brady was there. They honored Tom Brady, and then Patriots lost. The Giants, on the other hand, just stunk up the joint. The Giants just stunk up the joint. They couldn't hold on to the ball. So it's okay. My fantasy football, I'm in 2 leagues, and I'm beating people in both leagues. I had Tyreek Hill in my other league, which was great. All right, so Morgan Stanley chimes in on what's going on with CPI. I think that it rises. I especially think that because oil is on the rise, that inflation rises. We'll see. All right, now another big story. Tesla. Market value could surge by $500 billion because of its supercomputer. That's another story from Morgan Stanley. This big supercomputer thing, Dojo can open up new addressable markets, just like AWS did for Amazon. Upgrading the stock to overweight from equal weight and raising its 12-month target to $400 from $250. That is just more fuel for people to go out and buy Tesla. John says, Glenn, you said you were here to make sure we don't hurt ourselves in the market. Love that the Giants lost. All right, well, I'm going to start. Anybody starts talking bad about my Giants, I think I'm going to put you all in timeout. Even though you may not be telling, well, Glenn, you said, why did you pin that, Joey? What?
It was a good comment.
It wasn't that good a comment. I'm unpinning it. I don't want that pinned. I read somewhere that Tesla is considered a tech company, not an auto company. Do you agree? I think it is both, A Fox. I think that Tesla, by way of its innovations with the EV, I think that it is considered to be both an automobile company and a tech company. Have you seen the graveyard of EVs in China? Yes, Fireblazer, I have. I've seen a lot of stories that China put out a lot of EVs, and they're just sitting in a big parking lot doing nothing. Jake, you're going into timeout. Jake is now in timeout. Told you, if you start talking bad about my Giants, you're going to go to timeout. Is Pete Buttigieg the guest on the show? No, it's just the video. I'm done looking at him. So we'll take that off. Now, I'm going to add on to the Tesla story. Tesla leads the S&P 500 index as AI premium plays in. How many of you are still playing Tesla? I did a video on Tesla last week. I told you why I jumped into it early. I took an aggressive move on Tesla, and I'm still in Tesla TSL, and I'm up 10.5% on it. So how many of you saw the video on Tesla last week? Type a 1. How many of you saw the video on Tesla? Type a 1. If you didn't, type a 2. And in that video, I talked about the big problem with Tesla right now is the fight that they're going through with China with the pricing issue. Dropping prices is going to hurt the bottom line, but all they're all about right now is selling cars. I talked about the new Model 3, its upgrade, and all of that kind of stuff. But I did talk about that. I got into TSL. I didn't want to pay the full price for it, so I bought the ETF for it, the 1.5 ETF, and I'm up nicely on it. But again, it was an aggressive move. I own Tesla in my Roth IRA up 60%. I like Tesla long term. I just didn't like it short term because of the pricing. But you know something? Tesla's just rocking and rolling. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Hey, the auto workers gave a pending strike schedule for. I thought that the auto workers that they came up with an agreement, Lou. I thought that they came up with an agreement so that they don't strike. So let me see. Daniel says they couldn't just name him John. Elon Musk confirms. And Grimes privately welcome a third child, Techno Mechanicus? No. Did they really name their kid Techno Mechanicus? Are you messing with me, Daniel? Somebody Google that. Did they really name their child Techno Mechanicus? You know something? When I grow up and you name me Techno Mechanicus, I can't say I would slap my mama and daddy, but I would almost want to do that if you really named me I think Joey's new name should be Technomechanicus. If you think so, type a 1. I
They
think
used to call me that in high school.
they used to call you Technomechanicus in high school.
Yep.
Yeah, no, they did.
But I did search that, and it seems to be true.
They really named their. Who does that? Evidently, Elon Musk does. Parents are billionaires. Call me whatever, says Janice. I hear you, Janice. I hear you on this. Says, parents are billionaires. You call me whatever you want, mom and dad. I hear that. Mechanicus. No. With hot stocks like marijuana on the rise, I see RSI over 80 on many of them. Is that a concern trying to buy into these stocks? And Adam, the answer to your question is yes, it should be a concern. But one reason why I don't like using RSI is because hot stocks can stay hot for a minute, and RSI can stay at that value of 80 a long time and keep you out of a hot stock. So if you are concerned about it being over 80 and you don't want to buy it, don't. But I will tell you that many times hot stocks will remain hot even with RSI over 80. So the choice is yours. It concerns me, but I look at the hot stocks and why they're hot to help me to make a decision outside of that technical indicator. Does that make sense, Adam? All right. So it does concern me because it's a technical indicator and it has a job and it's doing its job. But maybe the overlying factor could be it's hot for a specific reason, which could keep it hot. And that would then be outside of the purview of utilizing it. I don't like that the DEW still has not turned long. Great point there. Because when the turnaround happened and the 3 and 8 cross, I made mention that I was still not full, warm, and fuzzy about the upturn in the market. And one of the reasons why is because the DEW never turned up. All right, Techno Glendicator. Listen, why are we going down this path? Techno Auto Tech AI. I don't Quantum Mechanicus. Somebody named their kid. Elon Musk named their third kid Techno Mechanicus. That's what that was all about. What? I just don't understand it. All right, so Tesla's on the rise. I'm in, as I mentioned, I am in the TSL. I'm going to add that to my list today. Let's go to the viewers. Let's go to the big news. I am going to add a couple of different stocks to the list today. One of them, Tesla's already in here. Tesla's nicely up today. Again, I like Tesla long term because it's a fundamentally sound stock, looking at relative value and relative safety. Earnings growth at 23%. Long term, I like it. It is way overvalued though. And Adam, I'm going to go use price to value being way overvalued and the stock could still go up. And I'm going to say the same thing when I'm looking at RSI over 80, then a stock could have an RSI at 80 plus, but still be moving higher. RT on Tesla is still rock and rolling. I still like Tesla, but I am going to add, and these are not news stories, I am going to add MJ and CGC to the list because marijuana is so hot. Fireblazer says there's no cure for stupid. That's not nice to say. Jeremy says, Glenn, do you think it would be too late to get into TSL? And I'll add that to the list too. TSLL. Let's go talk about that. All right. And let's talk about what's hot. Marijuana's hot. CGC, and let's go talk about TSL, which is a lot cheaper than buying Tesla. Is it too hot for these stocks? Is it too hot to get into these stocks? And I'm going to put this onto a 3-month graph. I think that's a great question. Marijuana, definitely moving higher. When would I buy into it if I'm not into it yet? All right, this is the ETF. I'm looking at about 5 cents higher than the high. I'm going to make sure that I'm buying into the stock as it's rising. I would put a buy stop order of 450. Does everybody understand that? Type a yes or a no in the room. Does everybody understand what I just said? Not only is the stock going up in price, it is still trading at or above average volume. That means people are in the stock. That gives me understanding that there's a method behind the madness. So if I'm thinking about getting into this space, even though it's hot, Let's make sure that I buy into it as it's rising. Now, a lot of you say, well, I want to buy into it now. Go ahead. I'm not telling any of you not to buy into it now, but I would want to make sure that the stock is doing what I want it to do before I pull the trigger. All right. So if you're not in MJ, which looks at the whole marijuana industry, I would put in a buy order at 450. Looking at the next one, CGC, same kind of scenario. Marijuana as a whole, the industry as a whole is rising. Many of the stocks in the industry will rise as well. Now, you'll notice that today's wick, a little bit of wick, a lot of people giving back. Why? Because the stock has gone up a lot in a short amount of time. So if I'm not in CGC yet, I'm putting 5 cents higher than the high. I'm putting in a buy order at 145. I like that idea rather than buying it here and watching the wick get longer because more people are taking profits. Does that make sense to everybody? Type of 1 if it makes sense. Type of 2 if you're confused as hell. All right. That makes sense. As it's moved up, that tells me that people are taking profits, but buyers are like you sitting around and going, man, this thing is moving. Those people are what's still pushing the stock's price higher. I would take you a step further, that I want to make sure that it's going higher as I buy into it. So, Jeremy, you confused? Shouldn't be. As the stock's price is rising, a nice big move in volume as well, I don't want to buy now because this wick tells me that people are pulling out or taking profits, and it can go down and down and down and down. All right. Even though it's an open candle, I'd rather you buy in as the stock is rising higher. Nat says 1 definitely took profits. And that's what's going on right here with this wick. You're not in it yet. Let's wait until it gets to 145 before you pull the trigger. And now let's talk about Tesla. Nice move on Tesla. Again, I bought this stock early in the move before it started taking off and I gave you reasons in the video why I did it. But now, big concern for me right here in that the stock gapped up. So what am I looking at here? If I own the stock, I'm going to use this price of 1701 as a stop price to take my profits off the table. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? All right. I like that it gapped, but chances are that it could fade the gap and take away all of your profits. Now, if I'm not in it yet, so that's what for the people who are in it and you want to make sure that you lock in profits. What is the Canopy ticker? It's CGC. Let me go back. Canopy is CGC. And you see that it leveled out before it blew up. Whereas with the Tesla move, it was pulling back. And that's all of the pricing battle going between China and Tesla. That's where all of this came in. But a lot of other news is coming in the Model 3, this new news with the supercomputer, and very little wick at the top. Very little wick at the top. Whereas not a lot of people jumping out of it today. I'm not in it yet. I'm looking at about 5 cents higher than the high. I'd put in a buy order about 1786. Where is the gap on Tesla? I don't see it. On TSLL right here, Nat. Here's the gap. It gapped up today. See that gap? This was Friday's price. This is today's price. This is the gap right here. Thus the reason that if you're in it, and you want to take some profits or make sure you keep your profits, if it goes below and starts to fade the gap, most likely it's going to have more downside. Nat, do you see it now? All right, and look at that big volume. This is on, again, the supercomputer news. So great question about 3 different dealies, weed, Tesla, and that's another weed, that are hot. What to do with those right now. If you're not in them, what to look for before you buy them. And if you are in them, your possibility of taking profits on. So Nat, did you see it? Tesla's 10-month IPO. TSLL is I got you. All right. So main stocks that were in that story, besides the weed stock, Tesla's got more news to rise higher. That's pretty much what I got to say about that. And again, I'm in the TSLL trade. I'm in the TSL trade, not the LL. I'm in the TSL trade. I was on the wrong chart on my computer, says Nat. I got you. All right. So just wicked, baby. Wicked right. Wicked really Oh my gosh, I gotta laugh at that. I gotta laugh at that. That was creative to come up with that. That was kind of creative to come up with that. All right, let's go to my next story, and this deals with Apple. I'm not in Apple right now. I'm not playing the Apple trade right now. I was in it, and then China comes out and says, well, we don't want our people using Apple devices at work. They banned them. That affected Apple adversely. That news in and of itself affected Apple adversely. But Qualcomm to supply Apple with a 5G chips until 2026. And I remember a story where Apple was going to be buying chips from Taiwan Semi as well. I needed to go back and revisit that story. But I think that Apple was going to buy the crux of their chips, and it was going to be a big order for TSMC. So Bobby says, Glenn, I consider you as a wonderful mentor and try to catch your videos, but missed the Tesla and SCMI a while back. So do you do them every day or on your YouTube, on your videos? Joey, can you put the link to the Tesla video? The SMCI, I don't remember, that was part of a video on learning how to protect your profits or learning how
the Tesla news and price analysis.
Yeah, that one. Put that in there for Bobby or for anyone who missed that video. And again, in that video, there you go, Bobby. In that video, I talked to you about why I jumped early on that trade, and so far it's working out. All right, so far it's working out. All right, now this is going to be big for Qualcomm more so than Apple. Apple should have started moving prior to announcing the new iPhone 15 stuff, but that got negated by the China news. So I got into Apple once it went down against me 10%. I took that off the table. I don't know if I'm really bullish on Apple. I think overall I'm bullish on Apple. There's the Qualcomm. Let me throw Apple in here as well. That was part of the news. I don't know why I wouldn't put that in there, but I did. I put it in there now. Looking by VST, though, look at it's sort of towards the middle of the list. Overvalued, upside potential is not there on Apple. RT is not there for Apple right now. So I think that the China news affected Apple adversely. I still think they're going to get a bump in when they start talking about the iPhone 15 stuff, but it just wasn't the right time for me to be in Apple. Now, Qualcomm, on the other hand, fairly valued, fundamentally not sound, but it's going to be more of a sales news for them being able to provide them with the 5G. The company overall, though, is not there. Let's go look at their earnings, negative earnings growth. So I'm not bullish, even though the news came out about Qualcomm. I wonder what their sales are. Sales growth, look at that, negative 23%. So even though it's in the news that they're going to provide Apple with the chips, the company just ain't right. It ain't right. And, big news, big volume move today. Big volume move today on the news. But if I'm trying, now that's just short-term move. All right, if I'm going to look, so this tells me if I'm looking at Qualcomm, it's up 4% today. It's short-term. Long-term, this company is not fundamentally sound, even with the news. All right, Glenn, can you let us know when you are on and where? Peter, I'm on live on Mondays. I'm live with Ryan on Wednesdays. I'm live on Thursdays. And I'm normally live on Fridays. So I am live on our YouTube channel 4 days out of the week. Now, I also have videos that I put out. I do a Monday video, a Tuesday video, and a Friday video. So I am on our channel, whether it's by way of a video or a live stream, every single day. But I have 4 live streams. And Monday, live with Ryan on Wednesdays. I have Trending Thursdays on Thursday. And I normally have the mobile app coaching on Fridays. All right, so Joey has been a great... Why did you have to put that up there? Why? No.
Because it's a good comment.
No, it's not a good comment. I'm pinning it. Yeah.
Why are you pinning all these good comments?
They're not all that good.
They're great.
No, they're not. They're not all that great. Stay in the background. Stop talking to me. Unless you're going to do the stories, you just stay back in the background. You want to do the stories?
Yeah, I got a story about the Giants. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let me hear the story about the Giants, Joey.
The Giants got wrecked.
That's all of it?
The end.
Wow. All right. You suck.
Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl.
You suck just for saying that. I wish I could put you in timeout. Can't put me in timeout. I can't put you in timeout. You're right. John says, not only is Glenn on YouTube all the time, he shows up with his A game all the time. Thank you for that. Now, pin that, Joey. And that's a great comment. Pin that, Joey.
It won't let me.
Or whatever. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. And I try very hard to bring my A game every single day. And that's why I want you guys to share the link. That's why I want you to share the link. And you know what I try not to do? I try not to put me into the equation. I try to use the power of the software. We look at the news, and then we look at the VectorVest software. You know, as I'm staying right here, we know that CGC is up big today, right? Joey is the reason I can't. Wow, really, Mark? Really, Mark? Wow, it's all about Joey? Wow, it's all about Joey. I don't know why Joey gets all this love. I don't know why Boston too. Joey and Boston get all this love, but I'm the one that pours my heart and soul out in these live streams. It's all right. So let's talk about CGC, right? Big move. But am I a long-term investor in CGC? All right. Looking at what you see here on the screen, are you a long-term investor in CGC? Type of 1. If this is a short-term move for you, type of 2. All right, Joey Mechanicus. If this is a long-term investment for you, type of 1. If it's a short-term investment, type of 2. Joey is the unsung hero. I won't doubt that. Wow, look at everybody's giving Joey all this love. All right, so I want to see how many of you think that this is a long-term play or a short-term play. Overall, everybody in here who's playing it should be typing a 2. Because by the power of the VectorVest software, we can see that fundamentally it's not sound. It's in an uptrend right now. Daniel says it's a long-term play. Wow. All right. Daniel, I'm not judging. I just don't think that it's a long-term play yet. All right. The weed spot's got to come to me. Ooh, the weed spot. Really? Did I really say that? The whole weed space has got to come to me. I'm not a long-term player on weed just right now, but I will take the move. Again, I'm in MJ. It's up almost 12% today. CGC, an individual stock, is up over 40% today. Don't worry, Glenn. You make my day. Have an ID with a kid with child cancer, and you make me laugh for days. I'm happy about that, man. I'm happy about that. All right, there's a lot of people in society that need a bong. You guys have less. Don't short Joey. Yeah, you guys have jacked up, degenerate minds worse than I do. All right, my wife says that I'm not sound either. Says Fireblazer. All right, so I love that the stories and that they're moving and you guys are making money. I don't want you guys to lose out on money by thinking, and Daniel thinks he's long-term on this. Daniel, I just don't want you to be in a situation where you make good money on it and give it back. Long-term by way of the VectorVest system, it ain't there. All right, but Daniel, you do you, man. You do you. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to the next story. Next story is Moderna. So Moderna is one of my top pharma picks because of the COVID season coming in. But not only is that, I like that Moderna ties up with Immatics to boost cancer vaccine development. I like when a company that is in the COVID space has a lot in the background of stuff in the pipeline that they're working on as well. Fireblazer says we like drugs. No, that's funny. We don't like drugs. I've heard good things about a company called Enron. Really, Daniel? That's funny too. Listen, Y'all gonna make me push all my money, all my buttons today. Y'all gonna make me push all my buttons today. So that's a good. BlackBerry is on the move. Is BlackBerry still even around? Is BlackBerry still even? Are they still in the space of making phones? Can anybody back me up on that? I don't even know. Is BlackBerry still around? They might be. Oh, they are. What is the ticker symbol? BBB. BlackBerry stock symbol. Is it still around? BB, BlackBerry. It is. And it's up 14% today. What kind of phones do they make? It's not like they had a corner on the BlackBerry on the BlackBerry phone back in the day. What kind of phone are they making to keep up with anything? You know, oh, no phones, just software. Thank you, Albert. That's what it is. All right. So it's just software. BlackBerry, price news, conversations. Nobody talks about them. So I didn't even know that they were still around. Nobody talks about them. You know, remember it was back in the day, it was all about the BlackBerry. But now nobody talks about them. All right, so I not only like Moderna because I think the stock's going to tick up because of COVID, but I like that they have other stuff on a cancer vaccine development. That's huge. Cancer is such an ugly thing. And you would think that with the technology that we have in today's world, that we would have come up with something to, they are making advances. Some cancers are fixable, but most of them are not. Some of them are fixable. So I like that story. Moderna's on my list. I'm liking Moderna more so because of the COVID stuff. I think the price is going to rise because of that. Way overvalued, fundamentally not sound. But this is going to be COVID driven. Whether it's Moderna, whether it's Novavax, whether it's Pfizer, I think that these companies are poised, especially in the cold, flu, COVID season. These companies are going to rise. I don't want you to miss out on the opportunities to take advantage of them. All right. Your Uncle Glenn is filling you in early enough in the season to let you know. Keep your eyes on that. Joey, you got the link for my 6 pharmaceutical stocks that I want you to keep your eyes on? Joey's going to see if he can find a link for that. I need you to watch that video because I want to make sure that you get in early enough to make money. Because when they rise, somebody's going to say, you didn't help us with that. Your Uncle Glenn told you about these 6 stocks. Joey's going to see if he can find a link, and if he does, he's going to put it in there for you. I need you guys to keep your eyes on these stocks, especially because COVID cases are increasing. All right, last Friday, I signed up for the options course very, very recently. Way to go, Bobby. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. And I'm glad that we were able on this channel to push the free webcast. I try very hard not to sell anything on this channel. All right, but except for the 99-cent trial to the software for 30 days. That's not a big sell. All right, 99 cents, 30 days to use this system. All right, so Joey put the link in for my top 6 pharmaceutical stocks that I want you guys to keep your eyes on. Does Pfizer have a positive side effect on, I don't know, vaccine 2-for-1 meds? Fireblaze, I don't know. You got to type that so I can read it and understand it as well, because I don't know what the hell you just typed. I don't even know what you typed. I should put you in timeout for mistyping. Sigh. All right. Let's get into the next story. This is big. Now, how many of you were looking for, well, first of all, how many of you have, what do I have? DirecTV. What's the other thing, the other side of DirecTV? Joey, do you know? Or maybe it's DirecTV. I think I have DirecTV. Anybody who's got DirecTV, were you missing the games on Fox, the football games on Fox this weekend? Yes or no? For any one of you that have DirecTV, were any of you missing the football games on? Because when you go to the channel, it says, "Well, we got a disagreement going on, and they don't play Fox, and they didn't play the football game." Was I the only one? Nobody's answering. Was I the only one? So maybe that tells me that the cable that I have sucks. Wasn't Dish. I don't have Dish. I heard that you can get a rise from their stock and edge. I didn't know. I don't know Fireblaze. So I'm the only one that had the issue?
Yeah, I think it's with DirecTV directly.
So
You have DirecTV?
I got DirecTV.
Yeah, it's with DirecTV.
All right, so I was pissed because I couldn't see the local Panthers game because it was on Fox and it says that we're in a dispute and da 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 da. I was like, man. So maybe I was the only one. So anyway, but that's why I got ESPN Plus. I pay for that, and
I think it's people just in our area though.
Oh, is it just us?
Yeah, just in our area.
Oh, all right. So, but I was kind of hot over that I couldn't watch the games on Fox. They had to either be on CNBC, they had to be on CBS or NBC. You were lucky, Glenn. Don't think you get it. Get what? I didn't get it. I'm boycotting the NFL and the rest. You do what you want to do. I'm watching football. Sorry about the Falcons. Took them to the woodshed. I'm not a Falcons fan either. I may be in the South, but I'm a Panthers fan. I'm a Panthers fan and a Duke fan for the South. That's about it. Man, I have Verizon Fios and I had some games blacked out of my. All right. Well, anyway, Disney and Charter, even though this is not DirecTV, seems like a whole lot of this infighting on cable services is going all over the place. But Disney and Charter's Spectrum have reached a deal in carriage dispute. Now, I'm hoping that my carrier comes up with Fox and they do the same thing. So Disney and Charter have reached an agreement that would end their carriage dispute. That's one of them. And I'm hoping that DirecTV and Fox or whoever is the parent company of Fox does the same thing. But I didn't put Disney and Charter in there. Let's go see, because that probably was affecting them. Disney and CHTR, Charter. When these companies fight, it's all about the money. We all know it's all about the money. But look at this. Charter is number 2 in the list by way of VST. Disney's at the bottom. Why? Because of all of the stuff that they got going on with the governor. Disney's got a big uphill fight right now. They got a big uphill fight, and that's why they brought Iger back. But I don't think that he's helping the situation much yet. And I know we keep seeing the comments in there, go woke, go broke. I'm not trying to take anybody's side. But Disney is under some scrutiny. And Disney's been around a long time. All right, it's got longevity, but man, this dispute with the governor is hurting them and hurting their investors. If we go look at the stock, it's hurt. Their investors are hurting. Go to 3-month graph. Well, they're not. Oh, that's Charter. How come I didn't mean Charter? There's Disney. Look at that. If I'm an investor in Disney, man, I want Disney to shut the hell up. So start bringing my price back up. I'm not a happy investor if I'm investing in Disney. John says Disney is dead money for a long time. Sorry they brought this on themselves. Same for Target and Budweiser. Again, I'm not taking sides in any of this. But all I've got to say from an investment standpoint, if I'm an investor and I'm holding the Disney stock, I'm not a happy camper right now. So I'm going outside of the politics and looking at the ability to make money. My ability to make money is just dwindling. And that's going to continue to hurt Disney. Fundamentally not sound. And as John says, it's been dead money for a long time. But that's why they brought Iger. Iger was supposed to be the guy to be the middleman to fix this. And so far it ain't happening. Peter says, I only want to mention if it can help someone new. I did Ron's paycheck course about 9 months ago. I started doing 1 SPX trade a week, and now I'm doing 13. Way to go, Peter. Wow. Again, a lot of people get on us for selling stuff. Well, we're a business. Again, I try not to sell on this channel, but I will promote the stuff to get you to go to free webcasts. And then, like Peter, you make your own decision on what you want to do. And I'm glad to see that you took advantage of the options paycheck course and that it's paying dividends. That's a beautiful thing. I love to see when that happens. And I will promote any of the free stuff that we do here on the channel. Definitely will do. All right, and so Charter on the other hand looks a lot better than Disney. Nice move up on that carriage dispute, the 3 and the 8 cross today. I like that. It's very expensive stock, depending on what, expensive is relative. I'd like to see it go 12 cents higher than the high before I pull the trigger on the stock. World Series will not be on DTV unless settled. Ooh, thank you, Bill. Mug, free mug. For what? I'm not doing a free. Joey, can we do a free mug today? Oh, blue pill vaccine. Yeah. Now I got it, Fireblazer.
That's up to you.
Let's give a mug out. All right. You know what the key word is going to be for today? If you want a free mug, the key word for today is going to be BART. B-A-R-T. Type it in now. All right. The key word for today
I don't have it set up.
Huh?
I don't have it set up yet.
Oh, all right. So don't put it in yet. Joey's not ready yet. Sorry. Joey's, well, anyway. Joey will see that. But that's going to be the key word for a free mug today. This World Series wasn't on DirecTV either. That's why you got all these other streaming services. The streaming services will help to alleviate a lot of these disputes. But Charter looks like a bigger winner from the carriage dispute. Nice open candle today. No wick at the top, which means it's trading at the session highs and the 3-8 cross, and it came off support. I like the trade if you want to get into it now. If you want more confirmation to the trade, though, I'd like to see you go 12 cents higher than the high. All right, I think that's very close to the last story, if not the last story. DraftKings. Ooh, I was on a live stream. DraftKings is priced for perfection. How many I didn't play the DraftKings play, but it's moving. I'm going to put that in the list. I thought I'd put it. DK, there it is. DraftKings is down today. Fundamentally not sound, but the increase in betting on football is way up there, which is, I think, a good price point for DraftKings. If you're not in it yet, and I'm not in it either, but I'm going to give some opportunities. Look at that. Down day to day, but still in an uptrend, coming off this level of support, the 3-8. This was the beautiful opportunity to get in. You know I love the 3 and the 8 exponential moving average. It crossed on 828. I probably would not have gotten into it until 829. I would only buy on an up day. But since then, it's been rocking and rolling. Rocking and rolling. All right, Joey, are you ready now?
Yes.
All right. Now I need you guys to type in the keyword for the free mug today. Keyword is BART. Now you can type. It in. All right. And I think that's right in line with the weekend that we had. I think that's a great keyword for. But look at DraftKings. If you're not in it, when would I get into it? If I'm not in it, I would really like to get into it 12 cents higher than the high. But if I want to be a little bit more aggressive, I can pull it now, not on a down day, but I would pull it on an up day. I like the move going up. The volume is okay. I could use better volume, but I would only do it on an up day. So today I wouldn't buy into it, even though the 3 and the 8 are positive, but I would buy on an up day. I think that the pickup in gambling or betting on football games, the increase that they've had, I'm a fan of DraftKings. Definitely a fan. Today's just a down day. But I love the move coming off that level of support. I think that was my last story. Earnings whispers. Not a lot of earnings coming out this week. I looked at Oracle, Fuel Cell, FCell. Not a lot. We're coming to the end of earnings season, right before the next quarter begins. So there wasn't a lot of earnings, but this is all of the stocks that have earnings coming up for this. It wasn't a lot. All right. With that, Joey will let us know when it's time to announce a winner for mug. What I'm going to do is give you an opportunity to look at some of your stocks. We got 6 minutes. I'm going to look at about 10 of your stocks today. I am going to look at LFLY. I need 9 more stocks. I saw that FCell beat. And I put FCell in there. A DUOL, that's 3. And XPF, that's 4. That's too many letters. FTI, that's 5. CSPI, that's 6. CCJ, that's 7. DX, that's 8. FTI, that's 9. And FTI is not there. CVNA will make 9. CVNA will make 9. CVNA makes 9. Chipotle, CMG. There's my 10 stocks. All right, let's go look at 3-month graphs on these. This is the ETF on weed. I don't like that one nearly as much as MJ. I don't like that nearly as much as I like MJ. All right, MJ looks good or better, much good or better. Who gave me LF? Who said? Who told me that LFLY was the ETF for weed? Who typed it in? I'm not feeling that one nearly as much. Who gave me that one? I'm not feeling that nearly as much. All right. If I'm going to play the ETF, I like MJ better. All right. What other stocks did you give me today? You gave me Fuel Cell. Mark gave me that. They beat and missed on revenues. Man, prior to that, though, Mark, it was moving down. Prior to that, it was moving down. Now it's just moving sideways, bouncing off this level of support. Solid level of support, though. It's touched a couple of times. Solid level of support sitting at about $1.32. I'm not feeling it, not right now, and it's a sell. I'm not feeling it right about, and even on these up days, the stock is moving sideways. I'm going to give a short level of resistance sitting at about $1.55 in a tight little channel. Sumo Wrestling has all kind of, but they talking about, Lou. All right, next stock. Wow, Duo. What is that? It's right at resistance, though. Right at resistance of 161.77. I like the move. I don't know what the news is on it. What don't I like about this stock, though, folks? I love the move. What don't I like about the stock? Type it in the room. Harry says, Bart, he is the smartest man I've ever had cocktails with at a seminar in 2000. Our birthdays are both 2/5. No, he's 3/5. Dr. DeLito's birthday is March 5th. Mine is March 6th. Volume is the issue. It's hard to pronounce. I don't know what it's that's what I don't like about it. So I think this is news driven. But it's right at resistance and stopping right there. You don't like that you didn't get into it already. You talk about Duo. I think that it's an okay move. I just don't like the volume. So that's a bearish divergence. On price. Look at that. There's volume and there's price. That's a bearish divergence. So if you're in it, fine. Make the money. But if you're not in it yet, I see a clear bearish divergence on it. That's all I'm saying. All right. And if you're in it, I'm telling you as well, watch it. Don't be afraid to take some off the table because it's right at resistance. Don't be afraid to take some off the table right now. I wouldn't mind taking half off of it. Jeremy B has won the mug. Jeremy, everybody clap for Jeremy. Jeremy, are you here? Thank you for that, Bobby. If Jeremy doesn't answer me, then that means he left. And if he left, I'm not giving him his mug. So, Jeremy, you better say hi. All right, I'm giving you 10, 9, 8. There you are. You almost lost out, Jeremy. You better be faster than that. Woo-wee! You almost missed out on that mug. All right, so, Jeremy, you have to send an email. Send an email to connect@VectorVest.com. All right, send an email to connect at VectorVest.com. We'll get you a mug. We'll get you a mug, my friend. Congratulations. Let me finish looking at your stock. So I do like price action. Just be careful with volume. All right, just be careful with volume. And what is so many letters in this thing? Sideways move, 3-8 cross, nice gap up, faded the gap a little bit, but retraced. I'd like to see it get out of these two levels of resistance. It's sitting at 229. The volume is there. RT is now there. Move from a sell to a hold. I'm looking to see if the stock can get past this level of resistance of 234. All right, it's got two levels. If it gets past that level, I would jump on it. All right, jam on it. Jam on it. I said jam on it. I would jam on it then. So just be careful. And it's probably news driven as well with two big candles here. Probably news driven as well. I love the volume on it, but I really need it to get out of its own way before I jump on board. FTI, like this. I like this play. Nice movement from the bottom left to the top right. Volume is pulling off today, but the previous 4 days above average volume. I like the play. I do like the play. Who gave me FTI? I know, Daniel, it is falling volume for a day because notice 1, 2, 3, 4 days above average volume. 4 days in a row above average volume as the stock's price was rising. Today is a day below. And a little bit of a doji going on, a little bit of indecision going on today. So Jake gave me FTI. I like the play, Jake. FTI, two of us put it up there. I like this play. All right, I'd make sure that I'm buying 12 cents higher than the high, though. Love the play coming off support, 3-8 cross, breaking through. It's doing all of the right things. Doing all of the right things. And for the last 3 months, it's been a buy recommendation. I do like this play. All right, next one. CSPI, same kind of scenario. But watch the volume. All right, the stock's price looks good. Glenn, add EPS on FTI. Earnings per share. Yeah. This stock looks just good all over the place. There's nothing that I dislike about this stock. 1 day right now below average volume, but there's nothing that I dislike. I like that play. But if you're not in it, I'm looking at 12 cents higher than the high. Looking at 12 cents higher than the high. Same thing with CSPI. I'm looking at actually 5 cents higher than the high. It's below 20. But watch the volume. Watch the volume. It's still above average volume. Actually, no. It's just 1 day below. I like this play as well. I like that play, and I cannot lie.
Go.
Huh? What?
Hey.
What?
Nothing.
Oh. CCJ. Nice move. Uranium, I've done. Ryan just did a video on uranium. It's another place that we'd like you to be. Nice bottom left, top right, right at resistance. Love the earnings per share. BX, Blackstone. Nice move. Look at that. Same kind of scenario. Nice bounce off support, 3-8 cross, moving. I'm looking at 12 cents higher than the high. Next one, Carvana is a little bit of a sideways move. I'm not all together. I'm on with Carvana. Earnings per share is negative, but getting less negative. Negative, but getting less negative. I'm not sure I like this RVRS yet. Fundamentally not sound. Just in an uptrend right now. That's got to be your call. And last but not least, CMG. There was the gap. It started fading the gap. Love the earnings per share. Watch it now because this was a gap, a level of resistance now being tested as a level of support. The 3 and 8 are still positive. I'd use this if you're in it. I'm using this 1925.41 as a level of support. If it breaks below that, the stock's going to have some downside from that point. All right. What am I looking for? That. All right. We covered everything. Ryan's piece on uranium was great. I agree, Bill. I think that stocks in that space, I like the ETF URA to play the whole uranium space, but CCJ is a killer stock. CCJ is the best stock by way of VST in the whole uranium space. James says, not talking about your Giants, but how about them Cowboys? James, you're going to be in timeout going into the next live stream that I have. You're going into timeout already. Glenn, how do you add the 3-8 EMAs to your chart? T, go over, we can do this real quick. Go over to the price box right here. Right click on the price box. This is where you add your moving averages. Whether simple, exponential, or weighted, type in your numbers to get the appropriate numbers that you're looking for. All right, that was a quick way of showing you how to do it, Devil Dog. That was the quick way of showing you how to do it. All right, I think I'm done for the day. Make sure you tune in to tonight's video, the 6 p.m. video, my top weekly plays for U.S., Canada, and Australia, and utilizing the power of the VectorVest software to come to the reasoning behind the picks that I have. We do it every Monday at 6 p.m. I saw that the death toll in Morocco reaches 2,500. That's a lot of people. We got to pray for them. We got to definitely pray for them. All right. With that, I'm going to be done for the day, for today. And that's it. Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii, especially in Maui, and of course in Morocco. Prayers for them as well. Bom dia. Salam. Shalom. Namaste. Yasu. Until next time, folks. See ya.